A large portion of my fan base is religious, and they like video games at the same time. One game series that I like and highly recommend is Darksiders. For anyone who doesn't know, Darksiders takes place in modern times where a fallen angel named Abaddon breaks the fragile ceasefire between heaven and hell by breaking the first 6 seals. One of the four horsemen, War, comes to Earth thinking that the Apocalypse War has already begun. However, he is betrayed and falsely accused of starting the Apocalypse War early and dooming mankind. In all the games, you play the Horsemen, the ones which are based off the four horsemen of the apocalypse. The first game revolves around how it started and where War must prove his innocence by finding those who are responsible. The second game revolves around Death as he tries to prove his brother's innocence and resurrect humanity. The third game revolves around Fury as she tries to hunt down the 7 deadly sins which have been set free in the chaos of the Apocalypse War, and Darksiders Genesis shows Strife in a prequel to all the games, and if you read up on the Darksiders lore, you'll understand what it's about. But the game that some anti-SJWs have an issue with is the third one. Two of the original horsemen, Plague and Famine, which usually take male forms, were changed to Fury and Strife. One of them facing a 180-degree turn as she is a woman, so they interpreted this game as some kind of dominatrix-style feminist propaganda.
Recently, I guess you could say yesterday, the game was revealed through a trailer. Now, the thing is about the trailer, I think the trailer was awesome. It was a nice teaser to get you to set you up for the next protagonist in the game and everything like that. And what I like about this game is that they took some biblical lore, like the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and pretty much made these characters badasses, and they added story and lore around these characters. And I think it's a different twist on something like this, on like lore like this. So I'm really hyped and I was really excited. Now the thing is, after I seen the trailer, it got me pretty much beefed up, excited. But on the other end, this game had pretty much pissed off a certain audience of people. And a lot of people were, some people were pretty much upset, saying that, that the social justice warriors or the industry is still pushing this agenda of female empowerment, and and this with the whole feminist movement and stuff, with these whole female leading characters and stuff like that, and it is seeping into the gaming community and stuff. So people are upset that the protagonist, which is one of the four horsemen, happens to be a female.
Well, I am here to prove that it is not. There are certain video game developers that definitely do decide to show off some far-left views, such as LGBT portrayal, racial diversity, and most notably, feminist views. They portray women, particularly women of color, as intelligent, objective, and competent heroes, while men are degenerates who can't accomplish anything without a woman's help. This is not the case in Darksiders 3, though. In the beginning of the game, Fury is portrayed as reckless, impulsive, sadistic, and even a narcissist.
Fury, terrible engine of rage. You are the machine that...
Are we to waste our time on ceremony, or are we to fight?
Step forward and recognize, horseman. You are the most impatient of your kin. The least predictable, dancing on the edge of your own reality. Your brothers understand the undertaking set before them. But do you?
Still talking! Shall I have Death fetch us some tea, or can we get on with it?
Fury, your role in this story is yet to be written. I wonder, will you light the flame of creation anew? Or stomp out the embers for good?
However, as the game progresses, she learns a lot about herself, and she learns how to be more compassionate. She even develops a love for humans after initially believing that they were beneath her this whole time. And do you know who teaches her all that? The Lord of Hollows. That's right, a man. He even arms her with the weapons needed to beat her opponents. Just think about that concept. A man is using positive reinforcement to lecture a woman. I think that feminists would blast that game, not anti-feminists. The same cannot be said about her brothers. War and Death are both depicted as badasses, but they also are shown as humble and more cautious in their journeys.
I found that dish you wanted. You're a good man, much more so than your name would imply.
When people think of Death, they would imagine heavy metal and gory music, but in fact, Death's gameplay gives off a peaceful vibe in Darksiders. This is quite visible in the effects of their personalities. For example, Fury's impulsiveness is what leads to her horse Rampage dying. She's the only one of the horsemen who loses her horse, and largely because of her behavior.
I have to go alone. This is no place for a horse.
What many anti-SJWs also get wrong is when they believe that by promoting feminism, the developers made Fury superior to the other horsemen. I would say the opposite is true here. Fury is in fact very weak. One hit from an opponent and she loses between a quarter and a third of her health. If you actually came across multiple enemies with multiple combo attacks, and many of them do in this game, she would be dead very quickly. This happens regardless of how often you upgrade her. You have to be very careful when playing as her. People have actually rage quit this game over Fury's fragile state.
Yak! Bro, this shit's so stupid. What the fuck was that damage?
War, on the other hand, can get multiple health bars, which make it even harder for them to kill him. If you really are a Darksiders fan, you will easily note that it is much more user-friendly to play as War or Death, and they're much more popular. Fury, despite being a woman, has no social justice warrior traits or anything that might make her a masculine woman. She even has high heels, wears tight clothes, and becomes seductive.
Must I touch them?
It seems that anything with a woman might be considered feminism to these people. What exactly do they want? Do they want a sausage festival with absolutely no women in the game? A female superhero is nothing new, and they do not have social justice warrior traits all the time. Lara Croft, Catwoman, Black Widow all originated in older comics, which had a very large fan base. Despite being superheroes, they're all rather feminine, and Fury is the same here.